Hey guys, it's Britt, and I don't want to come across as whiny or self-entitled or anything in this video. This is something that's been on my mind for a while, and given what happened yesterday, I decided that I kind of wanted to make a video about it and going into a bit more detail, and this isn't like for attention or anything. This is just me being real and being raw and honest and upfront, and how like the Theon and the Sansa situation, or if we're talking Song of Ice and Fire, the Jane Poole situation is one that should be treated with care. Because for some people, that hits very, very, very close to home. And I think a lot of people forget that because this is a series ground shrouded in fiction. I think people forget that sometimes these are events that happen to actual people to some degree. There are rape victims, there are abuse victims in the world, and it can be difficult for people to separate the fiction from the reality. And it sometimes, whether they mean to or not, people can say very insensitive, hurtful things. And I just wish that topics like this within the Game of Thrones community would be discussed, and I want them to continue to be discussed. But I wish they were handled with a little bit more of sensitivity. And you guys know, Theon is my favorite. And Theon is my favorite for a multitude of reasons. One, Alfie Allen does a phenomenal job. Two, Theon Greyjoy gave me the strength to get out of a shitty, shitty, shitty relationship. Because he was essentially living a slightly... He was living a life that was very similar to mine at a certain point in time in my life. And I was very young, maybe 19, 20, and just fresh into college. And it was... I met this guy, and ironically, he was the one who started my love of Game of Thrones. But even then, with what I could do with just a television show was limited. I was told I couldn't like certain things. And until I escaped, I didn't realize how bad things were until I was in a good, healthy relationship. I didn't realize how controlling and manipulative this person was. And while people cope in different ways. and Theon is my way of coping. I know there's no excuse for some of the things that Theon has done, and there's no excuse for some of the things that Sansa has done either. But just, I wish people were more aware of just how close to home these things are to some people. It's not just a show, or they aren't just characters to some. Well, they are characters, yes, they are, and it is just a show, or it's just a story, but it's a story very much based on reality. And there are certain things that get glossed over, and it's almost like it's a joke. And mutilation isn't funny, no matter who it's being done to. Nobody should be forced to be mutilated in the way Theon was, no matter how terrible his actions were in Winterfell. Sansa did not deserve to be raped, and Sansa is a complicated character, especially in the show. She took the place of Jane Poole for you book readers. And just Sansa's story, like Theon's, kind of mirrors mine a little bit. And I don't want to censor people, because you guys know how I feel about censorship, but I do wish that people would be a little bit more considerate with how they talk about things. Like, I shouldn't log on to a video and see, like, a video about Theon and see dick jokes. They're not funny. What he went through was terrible. And, like, that's another thing. Like, almost every video I see on Theon is some sort of one, dick joke, or two, oh, but he's not a man anymore, 'cause they cut off his, they cut it off. No. Theon is still a man. Genetically, he is still a man. Biologically, he is still a man. Some people make jokes about Varys, but not to the degree that people make jokes about Theon. And for the people who say that Theon deserved these things, or Sansa deserved these things, because they're annoying, nobody deserves to suffer the way those two suffered. And I'm sorry if I come across as, like, angry. I'm just really passionate, because these things get so overlooked, and I'm tired, and what happened hurt me. And people don't stop to consider these things enough. And I wish it would stop, or somebody would do something about it. And it might as well start here. So, sorry guys. I know this comes across as, like, angry and ranty, but it's the truth. And I just wish that this community that I love so much, and the friends that I've made through this community, would, be a little bit more considerate. But anyway, guys, that's all I wanted to say, and until next time, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.